What's up, guys? It's Eric Miller from San Antonio, Texas. Stepping into the vlog game. First of all, I want to say thank you for your time and thank you for your follow if you subscribe, and thank you for your attention, and I hope this video brings you value. So yeah, here goes my leg day and a couple of thought processes that I have currently, and maybe a couple fitness related goals. Alright, so currently what I'm doing right now is warming up with 225. Just getting some warm-up sets in, and then I'm doing 3 sets of 2 with 315 as my top sets. I haven't been getting much sleep these past few days, so the intensity wasn't quite where I wanted it. But we tend to have those days and we just gotta push through them. I don't try and take too long in between sets, especially my warm-up sets. I keep my warm-up sets to about a minute in between. And then on my working sets, probably like 2 or 3 minutes. So I'm just not taking up that much time. And it's great because in the mornings, I feel like there's a lot less people. So a lot of the machines are available for use for a longer period of time, so you can work out at your own pace. And what you'll see a lot in these videos is that Aqua Hydrate water. I get mine at HEB for $4.98, and if you haven't tried it, you definitely should. Even though it's expensive at $4.98, it's freaking good. And sometimes what I like to do is I'll stick it in the freezer, and then when I want to go work out in the mornings, I'll put it in some hot water to thaw it out a little bit. And every time I go to take a sip, that it'll just be frozen and I'll just get the runoff, and it just tastes so delicious. I've gotten asked a couple of times, and I'm sure I'll get asked again, probably by a viewer, is about my knee sleeves and my squat shoes. Now, I wear knee sleeves because it helps me at the bottom of the rep and it keeps my knees warm. And I feel like it's the optimal choice when trying to move the most amount of weight as possible. And as for the squat shoes, there's just so much literature based upon the angle of what you should be squatting at. And so that's why you'll see a lot of weightlifters wear those shoes with that angle, that high angle, because it's the better choice when it comes to the squat. And I feel like when you want to get better at something, you're going to try and do as much as you can possible so you can reach your goal. And being that my goal is to lift the most amount of weight, I want to have the proper equipment to do that. My jumps in weight tend to be, the lighter the weight, the more reps I'm doing, and the less reps I'm doing, the more I jump from warm-up to warm-up set. So I'm jumping from 135 to 225 and then 225 to 275, and then 275 to 310, and then to 315, and then I do 315 for 3 sets of 2. I've been power building for about 2 years now, and what power building is, it's a mix of powerlifting and bodybuilding. Powerlifting is going to be more about your compound movements, squat, deadlift, and bench. And bodybuilding is basically throwing in a lot more volume and accessory movements. And I feel like that combination is what works for me. And the best exercise plan is the one that you'll do. Saying power building is the best way to get physically fit. It's just something that works for me and something that I enjoy doing. There's a lot more ways to do it, and I feel like doing something that makes you happy and that's going to keep you doing it on a consistent basis, then by all means, do it. If you like CrossFit, or if you like yoga, or some people like running, they like their morning jogs, they like to swim. There's just so many different outlets when it comes to physical activity, and it's easy to find something that works for you. And you can do a lot of stuff at home too that's going to help you improve. But as long as you're doing something that makes you happy, then that's all that should matter, really. And usually on these phone breaks, I'll be checking my Tinder or my Bumble, see what DMs I gotta slide into, or see who hit me up at 2 in the morning. And shout out to the iPhone AirPods. Those gotta be one of the best set of headphones I've ever had. They're just so convenient. You can literally leave them on for like 6 hours before having to recharge them. And they recharge pretty quickly too, but they're just so convenient to use. A good technique in the squat is breathing through your diaphragm, and before you go down on the rep, inhale to tighten up that core so you don't have that curved back, and you have a much more smoother and stronger lift. And then after I get done with back squats, I'll switch it over to front squats. Hit 225 for 5, and then bumped it up to 245, and then 255. The front squat is really going to hit those quads, and it's going to hit a lot of that core because you're holding the bar in front of you, so your core is trying to stabilize it. And it's one of the better core exercises out there, I believe. Here's the top set of 255 pounds. I think this is the most heaviest weight that I've moved in the front squat. And the front squat has been one of the bigger movements that I want to increase my weight on. So it's nice to see that I'm progressing to where I want to. I think the biggest pet peeve I have at a large gym like this, as my phone falls, is people not re-racking their weights. But there will always be those people, and you just gotta not let that affect you, and you gotta just keep moving on. Right here, I'm doing a superset of hip thrusts, Smith machine, close stance to really focus on the quads, and then I'm doing stiff leg deadlifts to focus on the hamstrings. There's no better feeling out there than dead eye staring at somebody while you're doing hip thrusts. Hitting 275 right now for a set of 5. I ended up doing 3 sets at that weight, and then on the Smith machine I'm just doing 45 plate on each side, and then for the stiff leg deadlift I'm using 100 pounds. I just recently started doing this. I think I got it off of Julian Smith Instagram, and it really burns the fuck out of those quads. So on a lot of these accessory movements, I like to do anywhere from between 6 to 12 reps to really focus on building the mass of that muscle. A good key to remember on these stiff leg deadlifts is keeping that back straight and then not using your arms to pull the weight, but using those hamstrings. And they say you want to keep that spine neutral, so I tend to keep my head in form with my body and not pointed up toward the mirror, which I see a lot of people do. But that's going to wrap it up for this vlog. I want to say thank you for giving me your attention, and make sure you subscribe and let me know what you thought.